man.
There you go. Setting the tone on the PCA.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is now I'm going to have to wear headphones all the time is because I used to just play the volume out loud on my laptop kind of recklessly, but now I got to use headphones unless I get like a speaker or something, like a small speaker I can connect and play it out loud that way.
I feel you.
Yeah. I got too used to not wearing headphones during videos and shit. I'm probably going to find a way to not do it because I don't like wearing headphones during videos.
How do you not wear headphones? Like I can't like.
Well, you're not doing it right now.
I'm in a live stream though, and I wouldn't be able to like hear you coming out of my screen as I'm talking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like it was pretty good for me. Anyway, we are in your cousin's the first one in here. It says, "Hey, cuties." That's funny.
What's up, kiddo?
Yeah, I need to. I haven't even like made any DFS lineups to be honest. I didn't even think of it. I'm more so just like rooting for my my best ball teams because I got a lot of Buffalo Bills. So if they lose today, I'm gonna be in a bad place.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Also, I don't have a lot of Bengals exposure, so I mean, if the Bengals went out today, that'd be pretty funny.
You don't have a lot of Bengals.
I don't have a lot. I mean, like comparatively
to I would say the majority of the people would take a lot of Bengals like in drafts, and I was like, like I believe in them, but I don't think they're gonna go like super far in the playoffs.
The problem that I have is there's a team like the Bengals basically every year. Like there's basically, I mean, it was the Chiefs a few years ago, it was the Bills a couple years ago. There's always like this one like up and coming team that you can see being a contender for a while that isn't quite ready to go on that full on run the first year that they make it. And that's kind of what I see with the Bengals. Even if they don't lose today versus the Raiders, like I have a tough time seeing them beat the Titans. Like I've seen so many predictions just like, oh yeah, that passing offense is too much. Titans have no chance. Like Titans passing defense has been relatively decent, like comparative to expectations. And
for sure.
Talking about from a discipline, physicality standpoint, I mean, like the Titans, if they're on their game, could legitimately run the Bengals out of the building. So, I don't know. I just feel like the Titans are getting a little disrespected, and the fact is, like, I understand why they're going behind the Bengals in drafts because they have the bye week, and like a lot of people view that as a quote unquote 50-50 game. But like at current cost in those playoff drafts, obviously they're done now, but at that current cost, like I was just fading the Bengals in the second, third, fourth round area where you're taking your Burrows, your Higgins, your Chases, your Mixons, and you can just get AJ Brown and Derrick Henry and cross correlate it with an NFC stat.
You almost said cross reference again.
I had to think hard on that, but
yeah, Flet's gonna be dying at that one.
Laddie Ryan's, yeah, appreciate that, Luke. Yeah, dude, fucking.
I might enter a monster GPP today. I never enter huge contests, and I might actually do it. Yeah. I like DFS is interesting. To be honest, I haven't like digested a whole lot of DFS content this week. I don't know why. I just was doing best ball drafts and stuff. So I'm gonna check. I gotta check like Fantasy Labs and stuff for some ownership checks. Like I'm way behind. Like I'm building this last minute, like what you probably do when you build the DFS.
I do. Also, I had like $200 left on like my Prize Picks account, so I just made a bunch of like freaking random parlays. And right after Fournette was announced out, I don't the odds didn't shift yet. So Keyshawn Vaughn first touchdown for the Bucks tomorrow was at like plus 900. I think I got it. So I have 24 left in my Bet365. So I'm like, fuck it, put it on. If I win, I get 240 out of it.
Facts.
And I have two other parlays with the Bucks the first touchdown scores in those games being Evans and being Gronk. And realistically, like I know maybe I'm like a homer because I genuinely don't see the Eagles scoring in this game, first of all. And if the Bucks are going to score, like who else is going to score outside of those three players?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them to score points in general. I think the Fournette being out is a big time loss. They're gonna have to probably win this game on defense, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and again, I think the under is a big hit here. I also think people are underestimating the weather factor in this game because it isn't apparently supposed to be like super windy.
In the Bucks game?
Yeah, in the Bucks game, no.
I didn't see anything weather related. That you could be correct though. I have no idea.
I think I heard that when I was watching Overs that stream.
True.
They projected to be like a super like windy, super like weird type of Tampa game. But
Gordo says, I believe Bengals and Patriots win today. I would be happy if the Raiders win. Yeah, the Raiders winning would definitely again, I don't really know how that would affect all my best ball teams. I would just say I didn't get a whole lot of Bengals, so I think that's like a net positive. I also didn't get a whole lot of Raiders either though, so neither one really moves the needle like a tremendous amount for me, but yeah, I think the Patriots definitely have a chance to upset the Bills, and I'm honestly terrified about it for my best ball teams.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it as well. So I don't hate it. I don't hate your perspective there.
Yeah, Danny down bad in the Dino League. Yeah, he is just sending out offers left, right, and center.
If people, I don't know. I guess people are like scared to make a trade with me now. I don't. Whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Sure,
you've
I
also
understand. I mean,
you've
I
also
understand.
fleeced like half the people in the league in
I mean,
trades, including
that's
myself.
actually
So
that's objectively incorrect at the
I don't
time.
know. You fleeced me on a trade, so
I mean, you fleeced me worse.
no, I wouldn't say worse. I think
Oh,
that
come
both
on.
trades were pretty like even in which direction each of us
Yeah.
won. Yeah, apparently it's very dead on the YouTube streets today. Anyway, but these games are super exciting to me today. I don't know why. These are the games that I was looking for. Realistic. I don't know why I'm looking forward to Bengals, Raiders, and Bills, Patriots, but for some reason, like I kind of am very excited for these games, and then the Bucks game, obviously, but the other games I'm not as excited about for some reason. I
Yeah,
put all the ones I was excited about today.
yeah, I feel you. Also, Spicy Hot, there's no such way you can fleece somebody when you're giving Josh Allen in the startup draft. Josh Allen is probably the 101 in startups now for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure he passed Mahomes in value on Keep Trade Cut. Like
Yeah,
like okay, at minimum though. At
he's
minimum,
the 102. Yeah.
he's the 102. So like you're gonna say I fleeced you.
What did you get from him?
I think I got like his second, his fifth in his first round pick. So it ended up being like Dak, like like a wide receiver 2 type, and a first round pick. And realistically, right now, like Josh Allen is.
Where's the first?
Spicy Hot would have finished 105. So
So it's a pretty good pick then too.
yeah, I mean at the time though, I mean you're going in the startup, you're getting Josh Allen to build your team around, like.
Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to Dallas versus the 49ers with my family. Last day in Texas, going back to college in Hawaii. Hope the Cowboys lose.
No,
I think
stop.
it'd be hilarious if the Cowboys lost as well.
It was definitely wasn't all three of those. Let me take a look. There's no shot. Also, the original pick I had wasn't even Dak Prescott. I traded back up with you for Dak Prescott, so we should acknowledge that there.
With Spicy Hot or with me?
Yeah, no, it's Spicy Hot.
Right. I still remember the one trade that I made during the draft. At like it seemed so money at the time, and now it looks like absolute trash. When I traded up for Sam Darnold because he was like a tier break at quarterback. Because like after him, like he had fallen to a point that it was like, you know what, it's worth taking the shot on Sam Darnold kind of like point in the draft, and then he ended up just being an absolute bum. So
yeah, facts. I didn't know what. Y'all got any entries in the? Oh man, like yeah, we got a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like we have a lot of entries, but then I look on Twitter and Ron's got like 96 gauntlets, and like Eagles is max entered like everything.
Dude,
like
Eagles
crazy.
Eagles has like 10K in like underdog right now.
I have like 1K, and I feel like a degenerate.
Yeah, you know. Hey, I mean, if you guys wanna see us put some content on that, just keep doing what you're doing, and the YouTube.
I have like 20 entries in each mitten, I want to say, and then I have 26 gauntlet teams, I think, or 28 gauntlet teams.
I definitely don't even have that many gauntlet teams. Let me.
I actually have quite a bit of gauntlet teams.
I have gauntlet. I only have 8 gauntlets, bro. I didn't like. I genuinely just didn't put a lot in terms of playoffs. In terms of the mitten, I have 11, 33, and 16. Yeah, and I also have. I'm not sure if you remember the original tournament, the Wildcard.
Yeah, I have two. I have 2 entries in that.
I have 4 of those. I just want to quickly check. I have a KC and Ram stack here.
I have a Bengals Buck stack in that. But so I had 2 entries in there. One of them had like a Raven stack, so that one's torched. But the other one had a Bengals Buck stack, and I got like the Bengals super late, obviously too, in that one. So that one's not bad.
See, Just want to see the Bengals get their first postseason win in decades. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it. This would be, the roster to be able to do it. I just think their time's going to be like next year. Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen is worth a farm, so that's the other thing. I honestly don't believe we're going to get. I mean, you probably should believe it.
No, I don't think the Steelers have a chance, to be honest. Like even the Chiefs, like the Chiefs have played bad like in like quarters or like halves of football like before, but even if they like kind of shit the bed the first half, I still think the Steelers are going to lose.
Yeah, I know facts. Gonna have to recover. If Henry didn't get hurt, yeah, I mean, like obviously losing fucking Derrick Henry is gonna impact your bottom line. So although that pick looks like the 105, like that realistically could have been a lot later if you make the playoffs there. So what's up, boys? Ready for the playoffs? Yes, sir. So many people are dude, it's so disrespectful. Like honestly, I'm actually like I'm kind of excited that we're going into it as the underdog because everybody when they give their rationale is like, oh yeah, the Niners run game. How's the Cowboys going to stop the Niners run game without fully admitting the fact that the Cowboys passing offense against the Niners secondary is a much worse mismatch. Like nobody is acknowledging the Dallas side of it because the media is pushing a narrative of the Niners being the team to beat in this matchup, which is just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it is kind of funny to be honest that the Niners are getting all this steam.
Dude, it's
because I said it and I was like, yeah, the Niners, like they could definitely upset the Cowboys, and now I'm like, it's not even like a hot take anymore. Like everybody is kind of like expecting it, which is funny as hell.
And it's funny because I feel like for the majority, like everybody kind of for all the other favorites, everybody kind of just expects that every other favorite's pretty much going to win this weekend. So I feel like they get to the Cowboys Niners game, it's like, oh, okay, I haven't had any underdogs winning, so I'll just give the Niners the win here. Even though like everybody's talking about their big win streak and the Cowboys' lack of beating playoff teams, like cool. They beat a divisional rival twice in the Rams. Yes, okay, impressive wins, but division rival games can go either way. I mean, look at the fucking Saints against the Bucks for crying out loud. And their only other noteworthy win in that stretch was against the Bengals in overtime. So like everybody's hyping up the Niners, but like realistically, if you're going to put down the Cowboys for their lack of schedule, why are we not doing that with the 49ers? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
looking. So I'm looking at like ownership projections and stuff right now. I'm building a stack basically in this big tournament where if the Raiders and Bills win, it'll hit. Most likely because I have Jacobs with the Raiders defense. I faded Mixon. I faded Higgins. I played Chase at wide receiver, and then I did Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox, Ramondre, and Nelson Aguilar on the other side, and then I played the Raiders defense too. So that's interesting because I feel like, and again, I haven't consumed a whole lot of DFS content, looked at a lot of ownership projections, but I know Joe Burrow is going to get the most steam. Because Allen is more expensive and everybody's going to think Allen gets more steam, and then the pivot play will be to Burrow, but then Allen will end up coming in lower than Burrow.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, like in terms of like the Raiders defense being in play, because like, yeah, don't get me wrong, like the Bengals passing offense, the Bengals offense as a whole is fantastic.
The Raiders defense is good. If they can shut down Mixon, they can shut down the team.
And that's what I'm saying. Like people are like, oh, yeah, the Bengals passing offense, I don't know if the Raiders can hold. Like the Raiders passing defense has been very good this year. They have two of the premier edge rushers in the entire NFL. Casey Hayward, Nate Hobbs on the back. Is Nate Hobbs playing, by the way? Because I know you got arrested.
Yeah, I have no idea. But either way, their secondary's been good.
Their secondary's been good. Again, I think this game's going under 21-17, like 23-20. I don't see a lot of scoring happening in this game because let's be honest, from both sides, in terms of the Raiders, in terms of the Bengals, their path to winning this game is going to be slowing down the pace and running the football. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
For the Raiders, obviously, we've seen like Josh Jacobs gotten tremendous usage this realistically past month, and from the Bengals perspective, like you're not going to.
It's been like 8 weeks, to be honest. It's been a long time for Jacobs. He's been getting good usage since like week 10.
Yeah, I mean, like the people are just going to point out the game that they played this year, all 32-13, mixing around while they like. You don't think that has an impact?
That's the first thing that they're going to study when they make the game plan for this game is that Mixon ran wild. So they're going to try and stop Mixon. That's why I'm fading Mixon. And I'm just playing Chase at wide receiver for the Bengals. I suppose I could play Higgins instead, but I think Higgins is going to be like 60%. Like he's going to be just like mega chalk. I'd rather play Chase because I got Chase and Diggs, which is really hard to do.
Yeah,
in your lineup. To get Chase, Diggs, and Josh Allen in your lineup, they're the 3 highest priced players on the Saturday slate. But the way I was able to do it was because I played Zay Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you there. Oh, sure, Miss Spicy House question. Dad is a lifelong Niners fan, and he's in Dallas this weekend. And he'll be at the game, Danny. Yeah, hopefully,
That's elite.
hopefully he doesn't take the loss too hard. I'm kidding, but like, yeah, no, it'll be a game. So many early entries in the mid and got screwed by the Colts and Chargers. Yeah, I mean, like
the Gauntlet got screwed by those two because
yeah,
the Gauntlet's been going this entire time.
and
My Chargers, I had a lot of Chargers and they got fucked.
And that's the big debate. I know a lot of people from a macro perspective have basically been analyzing this, but the lifelong debate of these large ranging type of month tournaments where you could enter a month ahead or a month behind realistically is what's more beneficial, what's more plus EV, entering right away and maybe getting your exposure to those late Bengals stacks, or maybe for example a team like the Chiefs, you invested early on, cheaper price. I mean, not the cheapest price, but thinking that they're going to get the first round bye, and now that they get an extra game in that tournament, versus obviously, you have exposure to Jonathan Taylor. He was a top 5 pick at one point in the gauntlet. You have exposure to those Charger stacks because they were the classic pivot if you missed out on any of the top AFC team. And then obviously now, if you were to do a draft now, you have all information available to you. So it's a good
for what it's worth. The Best Ball Mania tournament was won in June. Like the team that won it drafted their team in June. So they drafted the team, 2 months ahead of, before the tournament actually filled up. So the guy who won that obviously got some good values on guys like Mike Williams and, guys that were getting hyped up and stuff like that. So,
I mean,
I do think it's in the off season too. Obviously it's a completely different situation.
That's what I was going to say. The game theory of it is a bit different because you don't have to project which teams are actually going to be in the.
But injuries and stuff still apply too, because some of the Gauntlet teams got like Chris Godwin on them, right? Like it was open that early that some of the Gauntlet teams will have Godwin and Antonio Brown and anybody else that got injured, Clyde and stuff too. Like all these guys, Michael Gallup. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Like that stuff also kind of plays a factor as well.
For sure. Love looking at my home league startup and seeing where I mean, hey, all you FSE listeners in here probably have a lot of exposure to those
There's
guys.
no better feeling than nailing a rookie pick, man. There's no better feeling than when you and obviously I fucked this up in our Scott's Tots league, but I knew I was doing that. Like I knew I was kind of screwing up by taking ETN over Chase and Pitts because I just wanted ETN on one of my teams because I had no exposure to him, and it's a $20 league. I don't really care that much, so I took him instead of those guys. But when you actually hit on a pick, because I remember when I took in Get Faded 2 years ago, I took T Higgins with the 204 or something like that, like a really late pick. So in that league, I got T Higgins super late. I actually sold him this past year, and I got a first rounder this year, and I also got he was part of the one package that I made for with Godwin involved. I ended up trading a bunch of players in that league because I tore my team down and traded away McCaffrey and all those guys too.
Yeah, I feel you. My Super Bowl prediction is Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah, that's definitely a plausible Super Bowl for sure.
It's probably going to be
I personally think that Green Bay's going to the bowl, like from the NFC. The AFC is not a lot more wide open because I think both conferences are wide open, but I would say the biggest favorite to make the Super Bowl from either conference for me is probably Green Bay from the NFC.
And it's funny because again, like from a ceiling perspective, I still think the Bucks, Packers, the Bucks, Rams, and Cowboys probably have a higher overall ceiling than Green Bay. But again, we're saying that without seeing how does Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, Za'Darius Smith impact that supposed ceiling that we've seen this year. But from a consistency standpoint, I mean, you have to give them the nod now. But again, like I would not be shocked if I don't want to toot my own horn, but if the Cowboys got hot and they were playing their best ball, if they were able to take that upset type of game. But I mean, like I don't know, like this is like the most kind of like interesting playoff we've really seen in a while because we've kind of just like went into the playoffs, 2 or 3 teams we felt like are going to dominate really these past 5 to 10 years, and this year it kind of seems way more open to like a 6 to 8 team field rather than a 3-4 team field that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we got a couple more comments here. 49ers beat the Rams and Bengals, both tier 1 passing games. LOL.
The two teams I think that the 49ers don't want to play in the playoffs on the NFC side are the Bucks and the Packers because they're the teams. Because the 49ers are like a fundamentally sound team that also like present a lot of mismatches, but the Bucks and Packers are just more talented teams, offense and defense. So it makes sense why they would do. Well, they have to play you. I can't say like they give you like you're a bad matchup because they already are playing you.
No, I wasn't doing that for Dallas. I was doing that with the fact that I think if they got to pick a top team, they'd want to play Green Bay.
They'd want to play the Rams, 100%.
No kidding. But like, I mean, like
they've already beaten the Rams like a bunch of times.
That's impossible to happen in the second round. I'm saying out of like possible second round opponents, like they want Green Bay because we've seen what they've been able to.
Well, they have no other option but to get Green Bay, right? Unless the Eagles beat the Bucks.
Imagine.
Yeah.
But I mean, like tier 1 passing games, we've kind of seen Matthew Stafford be a little volatile, and I don't really like. I watched a little bit back of that obviously last week's Rams game, and up 17-0. You know that the 49ers are playing you deep every single fucking time. Like Stafford was throwing way too much shit deep for no reason. Like he was trying to force it so hard. You're up 17-0. What's the problem with Stafford is he trusts his arm so much that he's not willing to just take these checkdowns. He's just not willing to move the ball. He's not willing to be, a systematic passer, take time off the clock like a Tom Brady, for example. I mean, we've seen Tom Brady, when he gets into a comfortable position, the offense is able to smoothly roll. He's in a winning position. Like he's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to make a boneheaded throw down the field because he feels like, I can get you with Odell one-on-one when in reality here, the safety's always shading over the top. Stafford just hasn't really learned that. And again, is he a super, super talented quarterback? Absolutely. But a lot of the boneheaded throws, the boneheaded picks he's made this year, you can't really attribute to, that's lucky on the defense. It's more so just Stafford. Like, what the fuck are you throwing at?
Yeah, literally.
And again, like people want to say, they neutralized the Rams passing game. They're going to do that to Dallas. Like, Dak's not going to throw those balls. Like point blank, Dak is much closer to Brady in terms of being able to manage the offense, being able to structurally organize the offense on the field, as opposed to, simply going for the big play like Stafford always seems to do.
Yeah, I mean Brady kind of does that too, though. To be honest, to some degree, I would say if you were to, I'd lump Dak more so in with Rodgers and Brady and Stafford. Like Stafford's the worst version of Brady and Dak's the worst version of Rodgers. Basically, is how I would see those quarterbacks.
And I feel like Bucks Brady has kind of been more like the YOLO ball type of guy.
Oh yeah, well I mean he's kind of, people think he's been like a check down Charlie his whole career, but like that was really only like the final 2 years of his Patriots career because he did throw deep quite a bit when he had Cooks and like guys that he could actually throw deep to.
But the difference between him and a Stafford is Stafford forces it deep while Brady would notice when he has an opportunity to hit the deep ball and would take it.
Like, yeah, he definitely does. He's forced some shit though, especially against the Saints, the two matchups that we've played them. Anyway, everyone wants to pick at least one upset, so they pick the 49ers. Yeah, I actually think I probably think of the teams it's probably the most likely upset, the 49ers, but I would say that the one that I have in my gut as is going to happen, or is like, I could just sense it, is the Raiders over the Bengals. Like that's the one that I think is just going to happen. But if I were to say, like, what's the most likely, like, outcome upset, I think it's probably the 49ers over the Cowboys.
The Cardinals is one to me, too, that people are really...
I don't even really consider them an upset. Like, I view those teams like the same.
But, like, that's the thing. Again, the main thing I have here is, like, do the Rams have a phenomenal secondary in terms of, talent there? Absolutely. Do they have a really, really talented defensive line? Absolutely. But, man... How are their linebackers really going to contain Kyler Murray in the pocket? Realistically.
They probably won't. But like Kyler hasn't been as dangerous running the ball.
He's been pretty dangerous recently. It's just his inconsistencies in the passing game recently. But I mean,
why are the Cardinals like the best team in the NFL the first 10 weeks every season, and like they fall off like tremendously after that?
It's pretty hilarious though.
Yeah,
Brock. Yeah, they always say same wavelength there. Cowboys' problems is their defense, and also because everybody hates the Cowboys. Well, I mean, their defense is absolutely not a problem.
I think their offense is a way bigger problem than their defense.
In terms
if they're gonna lose today, it's gonna be because of their offense, not because of their defense. I think at least.
This is the most complete Dallas team really we've seen in a while, and it's funny that we're mentioning the offense is going to be like the biggest concern. Yet we're still talking about the number one scoring offense in the NFL. It's just again because they've been kind of inconsistent lately. Like we have to.
It's because they've been at both extremes. They've looked like the best offense in the league some weeks, and they've looked like just like what the fuck are you doing? Like against Denver and against like some of those other games that they played this year. It's just been so like. Yeah, it's been so inconsistent at times. But like the same can be said for the Bucks and for the Rams too. Like they've looked, unstoppable at times and also terrible at other times. But with the Bucks, the only like outside of the Saints, who they just know how to play against, like the Saints know how to play against them. The only team that the Bucks like really you had like an inconsistent showing was against Washington. Really, like that was the only game that they didn't look like they, knew what they were doing on offense.
Yeah, and Brock, I'm glad you answered this, dude. I fully fucking agree. And again, like if you want to say they're comparable upset alerts, yeah, sure. Why the fuck are the Rams favored by more against the Cardinals than the Cowboys are against the 49ers? I don't get. Like, I genuinely don't get. But, like, again, I think the Cowboys are a better team than the Rams. And, again, maybe you want to argue that the 49ers right now are playing better ball than the Cardinals. But realistically, on paper, they're pretty similar teams in terms of what you can expect in terms of output. So I don't understand why the line is the way it is. But at the end of the day here, if you're betting, I still do like Cowboys -3 because giving that team a field goal is pretty nuts.
Yeah, I want to actually show you real quick my exposure. I just want to like so I know. Oh, I was just gonna do that now for some reason. Anyway, I can just talk it over basically. In terms of my underdog exposure, my there we go. My number like 1, 2, and 3, it's like pretty condensed. So like my highest owned quarterbacks are these 3 guys, right? Like they're all tied at 16.4%. And then when you look at my running backs, like Henry's my highest owned. Like I have a lot of Titans exposure for sure because I have both of these guys, AJ and Henry, like pretty high. And then I also have a lot of, Cam Akers, and then I have a lot of Aaron Jones and stuff. And then when you go to my wide receivers, I have a lot of Cowboys, Bills, and Packers too. So like Cowboys, Bills, Packers, and Titans are probably the teams that I need like going the furthest in terms of like my underdog ownership and stuff.
Oddly enough, I think I mean you can lump the Chiefs.
Hashtag not biased, by the way, because you didn't see any Bucks there. I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Bucks to go far in the playoffs this year.
Fair. Like the thing with them is, again, if the Niners beat the Cowboys and you guys play, the Rams in the second round or the Cardinals in the second round, like I can easily see you guys going. Like
divisional round out is, I think, what's going to happen. I think we're going to beat the Eagles and we're going to lose to either the Rams or the Cowboys, whoever it ends up being.
It's fair. I don't see you guys losing to the Rams second time this year. Personally.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's been phenomenal this year. It's actually really surprising how good he's been.
Yep, for sure. So we'll get through obviously whatever comments are remaining, but the game's like literally about to start too. So
true. Imagine the Eagles beat the Buccaneers and the Steelers beat Chiefs. What an upset! Imagine how fucking hard the best ball universe would torch if both of those teams lost.
And my Najee Deontay mini stacks would look really nice.
Yeah, I don't have any Steelers. Like they can't win because that'll torch a lot of my shit. Because I'm just like these guys are getting fucking bounced. There's no way that they're gonna do anything. I didn't even do the like one-off Deontay's or one-off Najee's. I'm just like they're gonna lose in the first round.
Did you see the stupid freaking what's it called that I sent you? I shared in the chat. It was like the stupid like Madden like sim like playoff.
Yeah.
Steelers made the fucking Super Bowl.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they played the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I'll get a Green Bay jersey and I'm in Dallas. Yeah, also fucking it's Eagles. Yeah, I mean that'd be hilarious.
Is the Colts number one enemy the Titans?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't expect. I honestly like. I just assumed that division just didn't have any rivalries because all the teams have been kind of shit.
Well, let's think of it objectively. If you're gonna root, like if you're a Colts fan, you're gonna root against any team in the division.
Probably the Titans, I guess, especially recently. But
yeah, the
Jags and Texans are kind of irrelevant shitters. So,
Matt just say is football with the goalies? Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Freddie Anderson, yes. Roger should get a second ring. Imagine, dude. I think Roger's going high.
I don't know, man. I still think Rodgers' most likely landing spot is still in Green Bay.
They interviewed Hackett today.
Yeah, by all accounts that I've seen, Leftwich is their guy.
Really?
Or sorry, that's the Jaguars. I'm literally tripping.
I heard Dan Quinn. No.
Yeah, for the Jaguars or for the Broncos?
Broncos.
I honestly have no idea which direction they're going to go, to be honest. But it sounds like a foregone conclusion that Byron Leftwich is going to be the Jaguars head coach.
Yeah, I mean that'd be fun. Knew it.
Be fun for us. I don't want Byron Leftwich as our offensive coordinator anymore.
Yeah,
he's going to be a bad head coach, man. I'm telling you right now. Not that I don't believe in the guy. I just don't like his vibe is like he's very quiet and he's not like he doesn't give me the lead. he doesn't give me the leader of men vibe. Like, he doesn't give me the Robert Saleh vibe that I think you need to have as a head coach in the NFL.
So he's just basically a worse Kellen Moore.
Yeah, and as far as like offensive scheming and shit like that, like he runs Bruce Arians' offense. Like, I don't know how much like his like influence is even involved. Like, I'm pretty sure he's kind of just like Bruce Arians' puppet in terms of like who calls the plays and stuff.
Yeah, I feel you.
Maybe I'm shitting on him a little bit too hard. I just don't think he's going to be a very good head coach. I think he needs more time to be an offensive coordinator.
Sure, should have gone cup short to mid. Yeah, like again, I'm confident in this game because again, like the Rams should have blown out the Niners last week. Stafford basically threw them back into the game, and I do think like if the Cowboys get off to like a 10, 14-point lead or whatever, like they get up to a double-digit league, like they're just going to be able to control that game. They're not going to have Dak making stupid fucking throws down the field that are going to give the Niners momentum because again, at the end of the day here, Dak is a much better decision maker than Stafford, and I think it's gone to show.
Yeah, for sure.
Colts team reminds me of Tampa 2019. They just need that stud quarterback. Yeah, I mean,
I think Tampa had more talent, but the Colts were more complete and had better coaching.
Yeah. The problem with the Colts is like they're
just go get Andrew Luck. Just go get Andrew Luck. That's what we all want to see. Let's be honest.
The problem with the Colts right now is their main like franchise elite level players. Again, I saw a tweet on this too, but it makes completely sense. Is Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson, and Darius Leonard. Arguably
the least valuable position. Yeah.
Least valuable positions on a team. So, but again, I do think they're a good team. If you get like even a competent B plus level quarterback, like you should be fine. You can go on the pack. Yeah, I mean that would be fucking fun. I don't believe Aaron's going to Indy. I think he's staying in Green Bay because they notice Love his ass.
Love could be ass. That's definitely possible.
I could see Love going to like Minnesota or fucking Cleveland or something.
Yeah,
genuinely. Brady,
that's what I mean with Brady is that he's always been a gunslinger. He just like certain years with the Patriots, their offensive skill talent was kind of structured to make it look like he wasn't a gunslinger, but he's always kind of been like that.
And again, like I feel like it's been kind of like a half after his career when he's had that elite level threat on the outside, like he's been able to pepper him with the ball. But again, we saw the tailing years of New England, his best weapons were slot receivers and tight ends.
And running backs.
Yeah, literally though. So yeah, that is a fair point there for both of you and High Life. Brock, do you see what the GM said about the Colts are done with Band-Aids at the AB position? You think Wentz is out?
QB position, but yeah.
Carson's gone if they, definitely. Follow this team way too close. I can tell you Carson is the last. I don't know if the Colts will get Russ or Rodgers, but I do know that Wentz won't be the Colts. Yeah,
that's who they should. They should go after Russ. Russ would make a lot of sense for them.
Chris Ballard basically said like Wentz is fucking toast. See you later. Oh. Yeah. I mean, Rubio, I agree to a point, but I disagree with the premise because
defensively they didn't have talent last year.
Last year, even in the years that they were, 12-4, 13-3, they were doing so on like, average to slightly below average defenses. Like this is a defense that at minimum is top 10 in the NFL. Again, you want to say because they're a little bit volatile at times, because they're a lot of like, they rely on the risky takeaway type of plays. Sure, maybe you don't have them in your top 5, but
the best defenses in the playoffs are takeaway defenses. That's why we won the Super Bowl last year. Like Sean Murphy Bunting set an NFL record last year for interceptions in the postseason. Like he had 4 picks in the post. He had 4.
I mean,
he got one every single game.
You know who could break that?
Trayvon Diggs could definitely break it, but actually, I don't think he set the record. I think he tied Ed Reed because Ed Reed also did it. But
Ed Reed was
he had a pick. Like the pick he had against New Orleans was huge too because it was like a big time turning point in that game.
Yeah, it is funny. Let's just hope Trayvon Diggs gets off to a hot start. Picks Jimmy off 2 times.
Hell, Devin White had 2 picks in the playoffs last year. He had one against the Saints and against the Chiefs. He closed both games. He iced both games with his 2 picks.
The most ironic part of that is his like least impactful part of his game is in coverage. And he had 2 picks.
Yeah. Well, dude, he stiff armed Michael Thomas after the or was it Mike? Was it Michael Thomas or was it Callaway? He stiff armed somebody after he picked the pass off against New Orleans. It was fucking beautiful.
That's good because he's bummy. My dad got to trade Wentz off for. Yeah, that is fucking awesome. Oh my god, got a first for Wentz. Are you kidding me? I mean, hey, I mean the Eagles got a first for Wentz too. So kudos to both those managers.
Yeah, it's wild.
Wentz is a good fit for Reich's offense. I think at minimum Jimmy G will be the next quarterback, not a massive.
I feel like Jimmy G is gonna have a big market because it sounds like everybody wants Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Like, because they're like, oh, we're not going to get Rodgers or Russ, so we're just going to settle for Jimmy G. But it's like, if 4 teams are in on Jimmy G, he's going to get $30 million a year.
Dude, yeah, he's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, like I don't think he's just going to sign like a 1-year, $10 million deal with a team. Like I think he's going to get like a 2-year for 50 or something.
Yeah, Brock, I agree with you. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Wentz obviously has the propensity to make these splash plays that, could end up on a highlight tape, absolutely. But yeah, from a consistent, intermediate, short passing game, get the ball out of your hands, run that, quick strike type of offense and lean on Jonathan Taylor. Like, he genuinely is just not that guy. So I agree with you. Playoff Lenny's out. I was counting on him. Yeah, fuck. Like, I had a lot of exposure to Lenny. All right, boys, we go into the jungle. I'm praying for a good game. Yeah, I'm praying for you, Spicy. It should be a good game. It wasn't until these past 2 years. There's a lot of toxicity between Colts and Titans fans, largely centered around Taylor versus Henry. That is so funny that a rivalry is based off comparing 2 running backs.
Yeah, it's funny.
Is that the only such rivalry in the NFL? Because, like, again, the Cowboys-Eagles, like, the majority of these last few years was when it was, Wentz versus Dak. I mean, it's clear who ended up winning that one, but like Wentz versus Dak dominated the rivalry between 2016 and 2019. And there were still people on Twitter, like at one point this year when Dak was in a slump, where like we're like, oh, Wentz is still better. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? Like, stop.
Yeah. Anyway, no one cares about your Cowboys rivalries.
Are mad that the Colts get more attention and praise despite being the worst past years. Which yeah, I mean that does make a sense to a degree. I'd be interested to see if you and Jared have conversations on this because obviously Jared's a big Titans fan.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll read these last couple comments. I don't want to hold you guys up for too much longer. Dalton Schultz become a top 5 tight end. I mean, again, he is hitting the open market this year. I don't necessarily know if he'll be back because. Again, I expect him
I hope he's back.
I think he's going to command a shit ton of money, dude. Again, and I hope so because he's such an integral, such a competitive part, such a big part. Sorry, of the Cowboys' offense. Don't get me wrong, but like I can see him getting like $12 million a year. Like,
yeah, I think you let both the receivers walk and you keep Schultz. That's what I would do if I was running the Cowboys. And then because you can replace the receivers easier in the draft than you can replace a tight end who's already gone through the ups and downs of the tight end position. But did they pay Jarwin already?
They did, yes.
Ugh.
But I think he doesn't have a lot of dead money associated to him. So I mean, I'm interested to see how the Cowboys handle their cap in the offseason. And also, I'm just salivating at a potential thought that if Nakobe Dean ended up a Cowboy. And you could just keep Parsons on the ball.
I can't believe you guys are just gonna draft linebackers like constantly.
Dude, I mean, but like you think about it, Dan Quinn, like in that defense that he's kind of built, just fully relies on players that are super, super versatile and can do a number of things. So having Parsons, be that off-ball, on-ball type of threat where you don't know where he's going to line up, and then adding a significant upgrade at the off-ball linebacker position where he can. Nakobe Dean can match up on linebacker or tight ends. He can match up on running backs. He can run in space. He can go sideline to sideline. He can come down. Like he is a really, really good linebacker prospect. And obviously, again, if you bring back Jaron Kearse, your ultimate like nickel dime type of package backer safety. I mean, realistically, if you're going to get a box safety like Jaron Kearse, you want him to be able to do everything, which is kind of what Kearse has brought to that defense as well. But
all right, we're gonna have to side off of here, dude. The game's like big underway right now, and we're just talking about random hypotheticals for the Cowboys, like usual.
Last thing we'll read. Appreciate that, Nate. Good luck to your Bucks and boys today, Bush and Danny. Tomorrow, but yeah, I appreciate that. Hope our teams get matched up down the road. We love a Packers Bucks rematch where Brady has to come to Lambeau in late January. I mean,
how did it turn out last time we came to Lambeau in late January?
Yeah, for sure. But either way, I appreciate all of you, all 9 of you left in here. About 40 minutes. And yeah, peace out.